someone had asked, can this technique that I did yesterday be done with dye inks? And the answer is yes, but the process is a little bit different. There's a couple, and I've tested this on several papers. This is the heavy cardstock in the vanilla color. I do like the way the center came out with that one, but honestly, I'm not happy. You see all those divots in the paper? Not a fan. I did complete this one with Tokara so that you could kind of see what they look like, kind of highlighted. And what I'm going to use today is Simon Hurley Stark White cardstock. So Simon, I'm not mad at this paper. It really holds up well to water, and it's surprising because it's not super heavy. It's not a watercolor paper, but it is a very smooth paper, and it blends the inks perfectly. And for this demo, I'm going to use the Catherine Pooler inks, and I have a limited selection, so I'll use what I have, but these are the 3 colors I like for the outside. Okay, to start, I'm going to start with my ink smooshing, and you know what, bear with me, my water bottle's empty. I'll be right back. I like to fill my water bottle with the distilled water. Alabama water is, I don't know, weird. It's got a lot of lime in it, so I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but I like to do it that way. And I am not going to pre-wet this paper because it doesn't take water that well. I'm going to lay down my inks, and I want the lightest color in the center, which is the Lime Ricky. Then I'm going to take my grass skirt and kind of go around the edges like yay. And these are getting dry because I just bought the minis and I did not buy the refills because I wasn't sure if I was going to like this ink or not. And then I'm going to throw in some of my Aquatini and just kind of get a little pattern going there and apply the water. Pretty heavy. I want to kind of spread out this right here because you do kind of need to keep in mind that the center is going to be lighter, and this ink does not lift as well as the oxide inks. And I've got myself a nice sturdy Viva paper towel per Tim's recommendation. Now I'm just going to take my paper and I'm going to dip, and I am not going to dry. Oh, I like that. And the reason I'm not going to dry is because I don't want to set this ink. I want to lift right away. So I'm going to just move that out of my way. And I'm going to hold my paper kind of flat. Select the area that I want lighter. And go ahead and douse. Let it sit for about 30 seconds. It wants to bleed. And then lay down and lift. There we go. I'm happy with that. Alrighty, now I'm going to dry it really well. See what I'm talking about? Simon's paper, pretty good. And just get this dry. And that's dry enough. So I'm going to dry our side and straighten out my paper. See, I had some ink on my fingers. It's okay. And now I'm going to pull my little canvas back here in view. And I want to spread this out a lot. Just really kind of tap away at it. And I'm just going to kind of keep my fingers towards the center, and I'm mostly just going to be tapping around the edges. It's okay if you get some in the middle. Not a big deal. Just give it a quick wipe. And go ahead and dry it. Okay. Straighten it out again. You see, I try to lift a little bit of that right there if I can. I really don't want it leaking into there. Again, kind of once you heat set this ink, it kind of stains because it's meant doing what its job is to soak into the paper, but that's a little better. Okay, I'm gonna go in for one more dip in the pool. Again, I'm gonna try and keep it just towards the edges. There we go. Happy with that. Get my rag, wipe this off. And I'm going to give it a little squirt here. And we'll give this a dry. Okay. Now let's get those beautiful little water bits. I'm going to spray it from far away a couple times, a couple of drips up close. Really want to get that ink making its little mossy mess, which is so pretty. And I'm going to dry it right away. Okay, now that it's fairly dry, you see we do get a little bit of pitting there, but it kind of will straighten itself out. I love your paper, Simon. This is good. Simon Hurley, Stark White, 100 pound, I think. Still a little damper in the corner. All right, get it kind of straighten out, so now we can create our little florals. And just to show you, on this one here, you see I did these, I just tap down so it looks like they're hanging and flowing upwards. So you can go that way, you can go, this one I wasn't crazy about, but you see, when you do it with inks, you run the risk of getting, hope you can see that, brown. And this one I did way too heavy. More of the hangers down here. So, let's see here. And I am going to go with the Flirty Fuchsia because it's the only purple shade I have in Catherine Pooler. And I've messed around with a lot of different medium trying to get an idea. This is a sponge thing I got from the dollar store. I just cut a piece off of it and I tested it with some red ink. I'm going to test it here, and a lot of this is testing, so use what you have, but see, it holds a good amount of ink. I'm going to give it some dabs. It doesn't really lay down the ink though. You see, it lays it down too light. Okay, next up, this little piece of a makeup sponge. Let's see where we get with that. I don't think we're going to get anything. Yeah, that's not good. No. And then finally we've got this sea sponge, and it's dry. And it lays down the color all right. Same process, just kind of go around. The only thing is after you do this, you don't get it wet again because you don't want those inks blending. So in this one, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. Okay, let's go in with some Tiki torch and find a clean spot on the sponge. You know what, I'm just going to tear a little piece off. Now you guys know why I get so, well, I guess I'm not going to tear a piece off. Okay, let's do this. Let's try it with a little bit of water on there. Kind of expand the sponge and give it a push out because I don't want a bunch of water in my ink. Ooh, that works out well. A little water on it. You see? Good. Flowers. Got little flowers in there. Just kind of going around. Turn your paper. Make sure you get some hanging in the inside. And then hit the light spots more. And well, you can see right there where I made that little mistake. Let's see if I can fix that. All right. Let's go in with some party dress. And I don't even mind if they mix. Let's see what the color looks like. Okay, so it's pretty strong color. So I'm going to use a very light hand. So I said, yeah, see how it looks on the green? Not great. You have to experiment. And it's not really a pink, it's kind of a red. Okay. And let's see if there's any other. Yeah. So now I'm going to go back in with the aquatine and create some kind of foliage. Let me use this other sponge here. This is the one you saw me use yesterday in the video. You can tell I like this color a lot because my pad's pretty dry. But we're just going to go in, deepen up the foliage. So depending on the tool you use is how your outcome's going to be on your flowers. I love this aquatine, it's so pretty. So the effect with ink, you can do it with regular dye ink. Of course, Catherine Puller is water reactive. As far as the water spots go, you're still going to need a water reactive ink. And then finally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it down to the card size I want because I want to deepen the edges. So I'm going to trim it to, I'm going to trim it to 4 by 5 1/4. I just kind of eyeballed where I want it cut off. And I'll do half of 5 1/4 and half of 5 1/4. Yeah, it barely took any off. Alright, so for the final step, I'm going to come in with the grass skirt, and I'm actually going to use an ink blender. Use a blending brush. Okay, this is my ink brush. So I have ink brushes and I have oxide brushes. And I just want to come along the edge and deepen that down. There we go. Oh, I forgot to fix that spot. That's okay. I'm not mad. Alright guys, so that's how you get that sort of same look with inks. Now you can go in with some water, but you want to be very picky about it. In fact, what I'll do is I'm going to spray onto my mat. I'm going to use use this little piece of a makeup sponge. I'm going to selectively go in and add some water. I just don't want those greens to blend. I can live with that. And then want to just get some more drippity droppity goodness just along the edges. See, right there is where you want to be careful. Get that dried off. Give it a final dry. Okay, so there you have your kind of foresty floral background. Sorry, I'm just trying to straighten the paper out a little bit so you can see it better. And here's where you want to be careful if you get too much water. Some Hurley paper wants to wrinkle. Still, I'm not mad. Gives it some cute texture. What'd you think? You can put your stamp right here, or your die cut, or what have you. I think it looks best with the silhouette type stamp, but I don't know, it looked pretty with some Tim Holtz wildflowers on there. Okay, then that's it. Thanks for watching my video. If you like what you see, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you wouldn't mind, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. And stay tuned for more videos to come. Have a good day.